What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so I don't know how many times I've said this year, but I just saw some sad news which I want to share to you who have not heard yet. And that is, and I put a link to the article in the description box below. The actor Raymond passed away. Now, his name wasn't well known. But the face is. And this one right here goes up there with Jeanette Dubois, who passed back in January, I believe, as far as like hitting home to us who grew up watching television in the 1970s. Well, grew up watching television in general. I wasn't even born in the 70s. I was born in 80. But you know, you get what I'm talking about. You grew up watching these iconic television shows, and you become attached to these characters and these actors. But Raymond Allen was found unresponsive in a long-term health care facility, which he had been a resident of since 2016. When he was battling pneumonia, and since then he's been having issues with respiratory problems. Apparently he did not have the coronavirus, but I guess age just caught up with him. He was 91 years old, and he will be best known for two iconic roles. I think the first one is Sanford and Son, where he played Uncle Woody, who of course was the uncle to Lamont, and he was the most of the times alcoholic. A couple times he cleaned himself up, but he was the alcoholic husband, long-suffering husband to Aunt Esther. The other character that we remember him from is from Good Times, of course, being Ned DeWino. And while both of these characters had serious substance abuse issues, which were played to comic effect, you know, this was the 70s. You know, nowadays people be complaining that they're making fun of alcoholics. I mean, look, whatever. But the thing about him is his characters were always very sympathetic figures. There was goodness to them, and I always noticed that, you know, the characters around the Ned DeWino character, they never looked down on him. You know what I'm saying? They just, if anything, they pitied him. And I remember there was that one episode where they cleaned him up. You know, I like the fact that that episode revolved that revolved around his character, and you got to see that he was more than just a lush, you know. But he also reprised the Uncle Woody character in the short-lived sitcom Sanford Arms, and he also made appearances on The Love Boat, The Jeffersons, What's Happening, and he played a character called Merle the Earl on Starsky and Hutch. He retired from acting in the mid-1980s due to health issues, but, you know, and it's funny because I picked up on the fact that, you know, I noticed he wasn't anything after, let's say, the mid-80s, right? So for a long time, I would say from the time I was a teenager until like my 20s, I thought he was already deceased. I really did. I thought he was already deceased until I looked it up, and he was actually still alive. You know, in fact, I did a video. Maybe some of you might remember it. I did a video, I think it might have been back in December. I think it might have been, where I talked about how, you know, he was still going strong at age 90. You know, because a lot of people like me may have erroneously thought that he had passed away, but he was still alive at the time. But this is a sad, you know, occasion. But he did have a long life. He was 91 years old. Um, as far as the cast of Sanford and Son is concerned, it's dwindling now. As far as living actors, of course, Damon Wilson, who played Lamont, is still alive. Smitty, the cop, the black one, can't quite remember his name, but he played Lester on 227. He's still alive. The actress that played Donna is still alive. And the actor that played Julio is still alive, but I can't really think of anybody else that's still alive from that cast. They've lost a lot of cast members over the past 20 years, you know. But that's pretty much all I had to say, man. You know, he's survived by two daughters. I believe the name is Brenda Allen, and I think her name is Tyrone. And I read that they actually lost a niece, actually a cousin, on the same day that they lost their father. So it's a very trying time for them. Best prayers to them, and rest in peace to a very iconic actor, a very iconic face from the 1970s, Raymond Allen.